Was your husband on board with your decluttering from the beginning? Do you allow your kids for screen time? How often do you still shop Amazon being a minimalist? I thought today we could have a little Q&A. I've got quite a few questions over on Instagram and also on my YouTube channel. I just dropped the kids off at school this morning and I'm ready to do some filming today. What do you find the hardest part about being a minimalist with young children? It's definitely the amount of toys. And it's not just the toys we have. We're now kind of, down to the toys that they actually play with for the most part. But there is that constant influx of things like, toys they get for their birthday, for Christmas, from the people that we love, which they always have great intentions. It can be really hard to say no as well to incoming toys. And then they've also got so much paperwork and arts and crafts that they do. And it's really lovely to see. But I find that, they do a craft activity or a drawing and then they never really care to see it again unless it's something really special, which we do have a folder where we keep special artwork that we want to keep for like memories, but it's just impossible to keep it all. And sometimes you feel guilty about getting rid of that kind of stuff. But honestly, my son goes through, that printer paper that's got 500 pieces of paper inside. He will go through that so quickly. And if we kept every single thing that he made, our house would definitely be overflowing with paper by now because we buy those every few months. Because he's very artsy, he does a lot of crafts and it's really nice to see as well. But yeah, I think the hardest part is just kind of finding the balance of not getting rid of everything they love. Obviously, that's not the goal here. And we also want to make them feel safe, like they can keep the things that matter to them. But also kind of having that balance of, I just don't want to have all the clutter in my house because that then in turn stresses me out and it makes me less of a present parent. And yeah, I think that's the hardest part, just finding the right balance there. And someone also asked, what's your favorite part of minimalism? It's definitely the calm that I feel and just having an easy to manage home truly is what it is for me. And I remember reading about the layers of clutter. I think I read this on Shannon's page. She's got the Paring Down podcast. She's lovely. And I'm not sure who came up with this idea, but it was the fact that, we have layers of clutter. So when you have a clutter-free home and your surface gets covered with the daily stuff, that's just the usual routine layers. So it's easy to tidy. It's like a 5-minute thing. You go through it quickly. But when it starts to stack up and it's weeks and weeks and months of clutter, that's when it gets overwhelming because you've got piles and piles. You don't know where to start. And so, my house is not perfect all the time. It doesn't look this clear 100% of the time. That's not the goal. The goal is to just have that one layer to tackle every single day. And that, again, doesn't take that long and it doesn't stress me out because I know it's quick to do and other people in the family can do it as well. And yeah, I just feel like I spend so much less time doing household chores and that's really it for me because I don't want to spend my entire days just cleaning and tidying. I want to do other stuff that I enjoy, making videos or working on hobbies and things that I like to do as well. What's your favorite activity to do with the kids? I really enjoy getting out with the kids, like just going on a nice walk somewhere in nature, sometimes maybe a national trust, just go for a walk, have a coffee, just enjoy seeing them run around. It's just the best. And I also really like reading with them and just kind of having a little focused activity together where you can just see, their imaginations play out. It's just really satisfying to see and to do together. Someone said, I'm decluttering, but somehow things just keep filling back up. What am I doing wrong? I used to feel the same way because I decluttered and I was like, wait a minute, things are getting back stashed in our understairs cupboard. The thing with decluttering is that the truth is it's never gonna end. The initial declutter, the big massive purge you do in the beginning, that's not gonna be the same. You're not gonna have to do that every single day. But you are going to have things coming back into your house because, some of us have kids, they bring in stuff. We bring stuff because we do shopping. There's always going to be stuff coming into our house. And so doing declutters regularly, I think really helps, just small ones here and there. When I notice something that the kids have outgrown or things we don't need anymore, then I try to get it out of our house as quickly as possible. So that really helps. But also if you find that certain areas of your house really stress you out, it might also be visual clutter. So maybe you declutter the surfaces, you feel like it's in a good state, but something just doesn't feel right. That might also be the visual clutter. And that's where we can remove, everybody's different. Some people love more decor, some people love less, and we all thrive in different environments. But for me, I found that having less decor and just kind of a few pieces that I love, that helps me a lot to kind of feel more calm in the space too. So that can be a good area to look at, the visual clutter. But yeah, things do pile back up. Like, I'm not gonna lie, we still need to do declutters every single week. Like, not big ones, just like small routine ones, but you do have to keep on top of it. My grandson is 4. Can you recommend some toys which Victor loved at this age? So I definitely recommend open-ended toys. Those are the ones that we have found are the most played with both kids. My kids are now 7 and 2, which is crazy to think about. I feel like they're growing so fast. He's loved train tracks, the wooden train tracks. They've got them at IKEA. The Brio ones are great. Magnet tiles are a big one. Both of them love building stuff with magnet tiles. I will try to link some of them in the description if I can. The wooden blocks just to build, different castles and scenarios. And then he's got like tiny figurines, of the characters that they love. At the moment, it's Super Mario characters, but it used to be Paw Patrol or Octonauts at one point when he was younger. So yeah, but those are definitely our go-to that he loves. How is nursery going for Sophie? How many hours per day is she there? It is going really well. If my daughter Sophie is now 2 and she's recently started nursery, which if you're not in the UK, that's like childcare, like daycare, kind of like preschool, I guess. And I'm not gonna lie, the first couple weeks were a little bit hard. It's just hard taking them there, and then they are crying and hanging onto you, and the teacher has to like peel them off you, screaming. It's just heartbreaking, and you feel like you're torturing your child. But I do think it's for the best. I do think it helps them, and it also helps us as well, especially me, to just have a little bit more, time in my week to do work and other things that I need to do. But yeah, that was maybe like the first 3 or 4 times that I left her there, she was crying. And they always said, oh yeah, after 5 minutes, she was fine and playing. And I could tell when I picked her up that she was really excited to be there. She was having fun with the teacher. So I do think sometimes it's harder for us because you kind of think about it all day, are they okay? Are they having fun? But now she's really excited to go every morning. So she really, really loves it. And it just makes me feel so good. Like, I don't feel as guilty dropping her off there so I can come film a video like this. Well, it might change, but at the moment she only goes 3 mornings a week. And the morning is 4 hours for her. So it's not that long, but it's working really well for us at the moment. No question, just wanted to say thank you for everything. You guys are so sweet. So many of you have sent really lovely messages, and I just really appreciate you being here. Do you allow your kids for screen time? Yes, we do allow screen time. Actually, a few people asked this. We don't really have, I don't set a timer, but we just try to keep a nice balance. They're not in front of a screen all day long. So we try to have a good balance of, going out and doing activities. And then in the afternoon or the evening, when we come back home, maybe they'll wind down with a movie or just watch something while I cook dinner. Because sometimes you need them to do something while you're busy, like doing dinner or doing something else. My son also likes to play on the Nintendo Switch sometimes. I know the debate on screen time is so big, but for us, as long as we have a balance, they're not in front of the screen all day long. We get out, we do stuff, they get active, then I'm fine with them having a bit of screen time too. So would you film a current day in the life vlog sometime again? I love those. Yes, I would love to film that. I think actually, a few people asked that if I can do a daily routine, day in the life, a video like that. And I actually really enjoy filming those. I'm kind of trying to think of a way to do it in which, I'm going to be honest, sometimes I find it hard, especially now that my son is older and my daughter is getting older as well. And I want to have a good balance of, filming my life and my perspective, but also not including the kids as much. I don't have a problem with them being on there sometimes or little snippets, but I don't want their entire lives to be online. I do want to respect their privacy, and especially my son, you might have noticed he's not really in the videos at all or very much anymore, and it's just because of that. I just want to respect his privacy. I also have a lot of my friends and like school mom friends that watch my content, and hi if you're watching. I really love our school mom community, but the thing is, I would never want my son to like go to school and then hear from his friend that, oh, I saw this video of you online doing this. And, you know, I kind of want to respect his privacy in that matter. And then for my daughter as well. So yeah, I'm kind of constantly going back and forth on this and trying to find a good balance of respecting their privacy and also filming a day in the life, because it's very hard to film a day in the life without the kids because they're in my life all the time. But yeah, I might do a little routine here and there, just like focused on me, the things that I do around the house or things like that. So yeah, I do want to film some more of those. I actually recently filmed a kind of reset my house with me in the morning, and my daughter was a little bit in there, but it's tricky sometimes, isn't it? Finding the right balance. What's your favorite room in your house and why? Oh, that's a cool question. I would say our living room, probably because it's the biggest room of the house, but also because we spend a lot of time in here. This is where I do my work. This is like my office, I guess, the dining area. And then it's where we sit down and watch a movie together. It's where we play with the kids, where we have our dance parties. It's just, yeah, it's my favorite room of the house, definitely. Minimalist bedroom tips. I did a major declutter, but our room is still overwhelming. Yeah, so that might be like cleaning the flat surfaces. If you still have a lot of stuff on them, that might be why it still feels cluttered. Or sometimes when we declutter our stuff, we realize that actually we don't need that many pieces of furniture in there. That's what happened to us, and we kind of got rid of some of them. And that can clear up some space too. It can also be visual clutter that might be feeling a bit much. I do find in our bedroom, at least, I prefer to have it super simple, super minimal, so that it's easy to tidy in the morning. And yeah, when I go in there at the end of the day, I just want to chill, relax, not be super stimulated by all the stuff around me. Yeah, it might just be a case of kind of testing out, removing some more items and see how that feels. Need some help with shoes, please. I have limited storage in haul, but there are so many shoes and boots. I always think it's good to look at the storage space we have and try to, you know, kind of contain items in there. So like have a container, and sometimes you might need more storage areas in other parts of your house if you can manage that. So we keep any shoes that are out of season out the way, so not in the main hallway. And we have this little like an IKEA shoe cupboard that's very slim and it fits. So it's got 4 cupboards and each of them fit kind of 2 pairs of shoes, more for the kids because they're tiny. But yeah, so we each have a cupboard in there, and I keep my main 2 shoes. My husband has his main 2. So that's all we keep in the hallway. And then we have a few stored away, you know, like the more welly boots and things that they don't wear on a daily basis. It might be a case of, you know, doing a big declutter and being realistic with how many pairs we need, and also maybe storing away some that are not in daily use. Will you be adding more behind the scenes video to your YouTube channel about blogging and your business? I've actually been thinking about this for a while because I love that channel, and I love, if you don't know, I have a second YouTube channel where I post more like the behind the scenes of my business, basically what I do for YouTube, for my blog. And I do want to get back on there. It's hard to find the time. Now that my daughter started nursery, I'm hoping to get, you know, in a better routine and kind of start posting there again, maybe not as frequently as this channel, but that's one of my goals. So let me know in the comments what you would like to see. Like, would you like to see how I make videos? Or yeah, let me know what you would like to see on there, because I would love to get back into that. How are you? Sometimes I'm so tired with 2 toddlers full of energy. Girl, same. I'm gonna be honest, I think I survive on coffee. Some days, like I have 2 or 3 cups of coffee. Probably not the best for you, but it's just what happens. And it's funny because I remember when my first was a toddler around kind of this age, around 2 or 3, I used to have 3 cups of coffee every day too, just to kind of keep up. And then as he got older, I dropped down to 1 or 2 coffees a day. And now I'm back to 3 cups a day. My daughter is 2. So yeah, it's kind of funny. But I do think as they get older, it gets a bit easier. But same, at the end of the day, I'm just so done. I go to bed quite early. How many loads of laundry do you do per week with a minimalist wardrobe? Most of the time we do 1 load a day just because our laundry basket is full. Like we have 2 kids, and then you also need to sometimes wash the bath mats or the bedding or towels, things like that. So a load a day is pretty much what we need to do to stay on top of it. I find it a really good routine, and it's actually helped us not have piles everywhere anymore. How often do you still shop Amazon being a minimalist? That's a good question. I actually realized we shop way less, and I think a lot of people think, oh, you're a minimalist, you're not shopping anymore, but we are. Like, you still need things, don't you? And I do find Amazon convenient. The things I like to do is to slow down my purchases, put things on the wish list for a while, see if I really needed them. But we still buy things that we need, but it's definitely a lot less than I used to. I would love to know your connection to Romania and the origin of your Hungarian name. And there were also questions on if I miss Romania, and the answer is I actually feel like I don't miss living there, but I miss the people, like, our friends, our family that we have there, and we just still see them obviously when we go to visit. Yeah, I don't miss living there. I really love our lifestyle here, and I feel like it fits us a lot more. We're in the UK now, if you don't know. We moved to the UK about 5 years ago, I think. Yeah, but I was born in Romania. That's where I grew up. And my Hungarian surname, which a lot of people ask about, is just from my husband. So he is half Hungarian. And yeah, that's where I got the Hungarian name. And she also asked in the same question, I would also love to know your social media workflow. Do you prefer blogging to YouTube? What platform did you choose to put your digital products together? So I do talk a little bit more about this on my second channel. I will link it in the description box. I love both blogging and YouTube, but a lot more YouTube these days. It's my favorite platform to be on. I love Instagram too. So it's kind of between these two, but YouTube feels just more of a deep connection to you. Like, I get to have a proper chat. Instagram is just a lot more quicker, in and out, if you know what I mean. My workflow at the moment is I usually film a video like this. So I will script it out. Well, I don't script word for word. I do kind of an outline of the video, the main points that I want to mention in the video. Sometimes it might also be a bit of research. If I do, research on studies that have been done or surveys, things like that, that I want to kind of add in the video. Then I film it, obviously edit it myself. And then once the video is live, I have a blog editor, Raluca. She is amazing. She's my lovely friend, and she will take the video, like, on YouTube, they have a transcript of all the words you said in the video. So she will take that and turn it into a blog post for me. And that's been really helpful. And I know some of you really love reading the content rather than watching it, because sometimes you can't watch with audio when you're putting your child to sleep. I get that. Raluca is the person behind that. So thank you so much to her for the work she does on that. And then for Instagram, for example, I just do like quick clips. I film of what I do throughout the day anyway, like tidying around the house. And then I use that, like little snippets of that for my reels. I try to keep it really simple on Instagram, because if I don't keep it simple, I find myself posting less than I would like to. And for my digital products, I sell them on Teachable. That's where I kind of host all of my courses and everything, and I really like the platform. I'd love to hear your cleaning routine. Lots of people say they would like to see more cleaning vlogs. I would love to do more of those. So that's on my list to do as well, because I really enjoy them too. I don't have a set routine anymore. I used to do in the past sometimes, like, Monday is this room, Tuesday is this room. But now I feel like it just gets done here and there. And I do think it's less than it used to be, even though the house surface might be the same. It's just less stuff to do. Like, it takes less time, and so it's quicker to just dust everything. It's quicker to hoover, because there are not so many things on the floor to move around. Was your husband on board with your decluttering from the beginning? My husband was quite nervous about my ruthlessness, especially when he thought his stuff was in danger. He comes from a family of pack rats. Yeah, I think this is something I get asked a lot, actually, even on Instagram, because a lot of people, they are trying to declutter and then their partner is not always on board, which makes total sense, because you're suddenly making this big change and they might feel apprehensive about that. But for us, actually, I think my husband was relieved when he saw me decluttering, and he was so happy about it, because he's always been a minimalist at heart. I feel like even now he is more minimalist than I am with clothes and with everything. He's not, I think he is a sentimental person, but he's not attached to things. He always says it's more about spending time with me and the kids, and that's what he cares most about, not the stuff in our house. Yeah, I love that about him, but I think, for us, it was kind of the opposite, because I was the one that was very reluctant to declutter for years. And that's why our house was really cluttered. It was actually because of me. I was constantly buying stuff and doing impulsive shopping and keeping everything because I was attached to it, or I thought, I might use it one day. And I know for myself, if he would have kind of pushed me or forced me to declutter my clothes when I wasn't ready to do so, I don't think I would have responded very well to that. I wouldn't have liked that. And so sometimes it's just kind of, coming to the realization themselves. Or for me, I needed to come to that point myself before I was ready to declutter all of that stuff. And this is something I talk about in my Simply Decluttered course, because it's something a lot of people struggle with, like getting their partner on board. I do think, for one, you can get started with a lot of your own things and kind of the things that they don't care about. Like it might be your clothes, your makeup, maybe kitchen items if they're not into that, just things they don't really care about if you declutter. So not going straight for their closet. And I think what helps is to kind of chat to them about it, just kind of have an open conversation about why you're decluttering and how it's helping you. Like, if we have less stuff around the house, then that means I have more time and energy to dedicate to you or the kids, or spending quality time together, how it's maybe making you feel less stressed. And I think it doesn't always rub off on them. It doesn't mean they're always going to start decluttering themselves too, but it's going to start the conversation. And in time, a lot of people do kind of jump on the bandwagon too when they see all the benefits that they get from decluttering. That was long. Thank you so much if you stuck around all the way to the end. I would love to hear from you. So let me know in the comments what you would like to see more from me. If you had any other questions, I might do another video like this in the future. And I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.